Hello, hey hoodies, welcome back to my channel. My name is hautemesstom, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, we came so fast with this new Critical SASS. The reason we are doing Critical SASS twice a month leading into the holiday season, brands are releasing more than ever because this is whenever people are more willing to pull out their wallets. So that's why we're doing it twice a month now, only until like maybe the middle of December. So like there'll be one in December, and then we'll go back to once a month. Critical SASS is a lot of work, and I know you know that, but if you happen to be new here, Critical SASS, these are my new makeup release videos. The way that I proceed is I like to celebrate things. There is a bug, it was a big bug. What I like to do in Critical SASS, I like to celebrate what's good. I like to celebrate things that I think might be worth our money. But what I also like to do is like to be very critical of new makeup releases and the marketing. I like to be critical of the marketing. Decide whether or not it's going to be good for you or me. Sometimes these brands say some crazy things. Sometimes they're like, it'll save the world. World peace, feed the children, walk in nature. That's what our product does. You buy, you live. That's what we're going to be doing today. And then my next video that I post, what I'm going to do is the things that I really like in today's Critical SASS, or the things that I think are being received well by the general makeup population. I'm going to go through my makeup collection, pull out things that I think are going to be similar or that would satisfy the same craving, because I have a rather large makeup collection. And while I know I'm talking about my makeup collection and not your makeup collection, we're going to do it to inspire you to maybe like use your own stuff before you buy the new thing. If you are new here and you're not subscribed to my channel already, let me just tell you a little bit about what we do here. I like to love my makeup collection first and foremost, as it already is. I have a lot of good stuff and I like to use it. I do, however, think that you are free to navigate the beauty space however you'd like. So if you have the means to buy every single release and it makes you happy, like Sheryl Crow sang about that one man, if it makes you then I think you should continue navigating the space that way. But what I like to do is I like to focus on my own collection, be very discerning about what I do bring into my collection. However, the nature of the work that I do here on YouTube has gotten me some privileges. Sometimes I receive PR, and I do make money both on YouTube and through Patreon. So I do have funds to purchase things to review, specifically for review, whether or not I was actually interested in them in the first place. But I also still buy makeup for myself that I want to enjoy and not for my viewers. That's the vibe. If you like it, I'd like to see you stick around, and if you don't, then enjoy today's video and go on your merry way. But first, if you could like the video before you leave it, that would help me. A little tit for a little tat. As I said before, I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/hautemesstom. There I do some additional content. My podcast with my friend Kackie of Kackie Reviews Beauty, that all lives there. There's no pressure to. You could join my Patreon or not. All patrons at all levels get all the content that's over there. It's just a way to support me additionally, but doesn't mean it's a better way to support me. It's just a way to support me. Liking, commenting is a really fabulous way to support me, and I appreciate all of it, but thank you to my current patrons. You really do make the world turn for me. Do you like my moth dress? I haven't worn it in a while. I mean, it's a velvet dress, so it's like, it's not even cool enough to wear it today, but it's what I've decided to wear. I don't know that it goes with the pink lipstick I have on, but we're trying it. I also got my haircut, a fade. Ooh, if you have a short hair and you have a fade, ooh, it's like a corset for your head. Okay, let's get to the makeup. I like to use a couple of accounts on Instagram. I like to use Trend Mood 1, Point and Click Vibes, and Makeup on My Radar. I'll have them all linked down below. It's really important that you support those accounts because they make videos like this one happen, and I know that I'm not the only one who makes this kind of content. So support the content creators that make the content that these content creators use to make content. Wow, it's a real big like human centipede moment, isn't it? Someone makes crap, they post about the crap, I look at that crap, I talk about that crap, you receive that crap, and then maybe you buy that crap. Oh my god. Beauty is a human centipede. So sorry to be the one to tell you, babes. This actually kind of me off. I don't know what's happening, but Urban Decay released the liquid glitter eyeliner Moondust, and I think these are replacing their original ones. So I don't know if they're gonna be, how different they're gonna be, or if it's just like different shades or like reformulated shades. I don't know. But what I will tell you is that if it is different, then it could be good or bad. I really like the glitter liners. These look like they might have a bit more base pigment than those did, because those glitter liners were like kind of just like glitter suspended. Like they had like a little bit of a base pigment, but like I've tried a couple of the shades, and they just, to me, like the Space Cowboy version of those glitters to me was just gold glitter, And it wasn't like what the shade Space Cowboy looks like. I love them. If you're into glitter and you're into eyeliner, I think that these would be cool. I just don't know if they're as good as they were, so I would seek out a review. But I will say it's nice to see Urban Decay like looking at something that feels more on trend than like what they have been doing. Like it feels more on trend than the heavy metal palette that they just released. Here's something that is kind of related to a very popular thing that we have, and maybe we can repackage this or repurpose this in a way that's going to feel new and exciting to people who maybe never paid attention to these glitter liners. So ultimately, I think this is good. Am I going to run out and buy one? No. But had I actually been thinking about buying them before this reformulation, I had. Pull the trigger. You know, like I didn't do that, but it was something that I was thinking about. Why? I'm not really quite sure. I was just like, I would like that again because I panned one and I just was like missing a little bit. I don't know. I'd have to see reviews of people comparing this one to the old one to see if that's something that I'd be even into ultimately. These look less sheer than the original formula, but if you still have the original formula and you haven't played with it in a while, if you have like iridescent toppers, what I would do is like put the liner all over your lid and like tap it out, but while it's still wet, take another glitter topper and top it onto it. Ooh, that's the stuff. That's the ticket. Oh, Kosas, what are you doing, babes? What are you doing? What are you doing? So let me read this first. So Kosas is releasing the new Undressed talc-free neutral eyeshadow palette. 7 matte shades, 1 shimmer shade. Neutral shades for no makeup look to full glam. I don't know about that. Infused with cucumber fruit extract to soften and soothe, vegan, cruelty-free, and come in recyclable packaging. That looks like it should cost $10. I would never pay $40 for something that looks like that. Here's what I will say. I love that we are paying more attention to packaging and the environment. And one thing about cardboard is that because you can recycle it pretty easily. Paper is pretty easily recyclable. So that is probably why they chose to go this route. There are obviously other things that we think of like glass and, you know, like metals, but those are heavier to ship. And that's also part of, you know, sustainability. Anyway, I think a good way to get a good idea on what it's like to understand sustainability from a business, like a business owner's perspective. Samantha Ravindal, I don't know which video it is, but there's a video on her channel where she talked about creating Auric, went through this the whole thing about how to be sustainable, and like kind of what they learned in that is that like it's really hard to be sustainable. Like you can use glass packaging, but then it's heavier and then you're using more emissions to ship that glass. It's like a whole to do. That's why I don't really always touch on it, but I would say that's probably why they went this route for reusable packaging. However, it doesn't have to look like that. There are other brands that use cardboard packaging and do really beautiful, cool things with it. It doesn't have to look like, you know, like it doesn't have to look like this. I think Kosas is trying to punk us. I do. Listen, hold on. When they started, they had like a vision that I understood. It felt a little clinical, but now it feels like makeup for children. It looks like makeup for children. This looks like you could buy it for $10 at the drugstore. And if I was only paying $10 for it, I don't think I'd be mad about it. But I would never pay $40 for this. Also, $40 in Sephora is like on the lower end, but it's also 8 shades. There are other eyeshadows that are talc-free. So it's like, I don't think that's a brag. I understand that they're a brand probably trying to fall into that clean nonsense that I don't like align with because I think it's fear-mongering. But anyway, I get that it's talc-free, but there are like other powders, there are other brands that make things that are talc-free. It's like, don't brag about it, just do it. The people who are worried about the talc will look at your ingredients and figure out that yours does not have talc. But you're like celebrating it as if that's special, but there's like so many brands who like have talc-free powders, so get over it. It's the Christmas of Anns, I guess. All we get is brown. Would you like this brown palette? Or would you like this brown palette? Or would you like this brown palette? I'm famously not really into eyeshadow palettes right now, but I'm more of like a shimmer girl. Like I use mattes to build out a look for sure. When I look at an eyeshadow palette, I do want more shimmers than mattes or a half and half. 7 mattes, 1 shimmer is just the matte ain't mathin' for me. That's personal though. I can't say that's like a real dig at this. Like that's just my personal preference. Like this is safe from getting my money. Like I'm not interested. This I think is actually objectively a bad release. I feel like what even Patrick Ta did was like more thought out than like this. And also I still wouldn't do this one. I still wouldn't do the Patrick Ta one. I would go for the Danessa Myricks one. If you are doing this, if this is what you're in the market for right now, and I don't own the Danessa Myricks one, I have not tried it. But if I was going to take a gamble I would go with the Danessa Myricks one. I just think it has better shades. It looks like it's going to be able to do more for you. I think that's it. Because the browns in that palette are different. There's different undertones. You can see it just from the imagery that those are not all just like straight browns. This is different levels of browns. The Patrick Ta is just like different levels of browns. No shift in undertone. It's just like is brown. Brown, 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 cream, brown, brown and cream. I can't believe Kosas has the audacity to not only release this and make it look like this, and then also ask you for $40. No, 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 don't buy it. I got tagged in this a couple of times. Gucci is releasing the new Concentré de Beauté concealer. It helps to create seamless complexion with second skin's feel. Formulated to a lightweight texture, this blend glazes skin with a buildable finish to cover dark circles and imperfections while brightening the high points of your face. Plus, infused with hydrating ingredients, it dries without creasing and ensures pores stay soft all day. $36.50. What's the 50 cents all about? There's a conspiracy happening here. 50 cents. And 50 cents. And 50 cents. Actually, it's breaking my brain. And 50 cents. Like, it just couldn't be $36 or $37. And 50 cents. And 50 cents. So the shade range from my eye seems okay, but also it looks weird in like this photo right here where it's swatched on the arms. Like, it does look like the first two arms are like the same shade-ish. It's like we kind of like went, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. But here's what I will say, is as far as luxury brands go, Gucci does the most extensive shade range. It doesn't really go light enough for me most of the time. Like, I tried their lightest neutral shade in the foundation, and it was not neutral nor like light enough for me. Like, it wasn't too dark, but it was just like, this is not the color that I am. And that's kind of been my experience with some of the Gucci products I have. Like, I like the Gucci lipstick. Can you believe they discontinued a royal scandal? I would cause a riot, but I just don't care enough. Not for lipsticks. I didn't like the Gucci foundation. And so, while it's very possible that I could try this Gucci concealer and really love it, even though it's a Gucci product, like, even though it's like in the family of a complexion product I didn't really care for, there's a possibility that I could try it and it would be like lovely. Why would I risk it for $36.50? And 50 cents. Yeah, that's really why I wouldn't buy it. Also, just like, I'm weary to try other things for Gucci. I like the Gucci lipstick I have. That's like the first Gucci thing I bought. Everyone loves that bronzer, and I'm sure I would love that bronzer. Maybe I would. Who knows? I don't know if I would even like it. This is just definitely not a concealer that I'm going to spend $37.50 on. I'm not going to do it. Hourglass is back, y'all. Back to steal $90 from you because they don't care to try. Every year, Hourglass releases one of these palettes, but last year they released 3, and they also released them in this beautiful packaging. This packaging, I got to interact with it in store. It's better than the old packaging. What's inside is, well, it might not be exactly the same as the 3 that they released last year. It's like close enough. Now, I know there are some collectors who buy these palettes every year, and that's like your whole thing. And I love the quality of these powders. I really do. I think if you're going to buy anything from Hourglass, powder products from them is like where it's at. I don't really like their liquid products, and their cream products, I don't think I've ever like tried one of their cream products, but I like their powder bronzer. I like all their powders. I even like the ambient lighting powders, except the shade that I had wasn't like the best shade for me. It like darkened my skin a little bit, but it wasn't like a bronzer. It just was like too dark for my skin. It's like pink. Like, it's just like pink. It's just like always like pink. It's just always pink. There's a bronzer in there that's like not guaranteed to work for you. And I've had one of these palettes before, not obviously from this year, but I've had one of their holiday palettes that they've released. And the bronzer in there isn't as good as the bronzers in the single compact. The bronzers in here also are all one color, when their bronzers in their single compacts, just like their blushes, have like that lightness like marbled through. And I think that makes them easier to work with, because I found the bronzer in these palettes like harder to work with. And I think it's because they don't have that. Now, maybe if you're a deeper complexion than me, that's probably better for you. I don't know. But like for me, it like just didn't feel as good on my skin. I'm so tired of them like being like, we're doing the bare minimum and you're gonna love it, and people do, and people buy it. At least they're like upgrading the packaging to be something more interesting than what it was, because even though like it went from like, it was like one year it was silver, one year it was gold, one year it was like rose gold, at least this feels like something. But ultimately, I think Hourglass continues to fail to capture the attention of people. Like, you got us with the packaging and you sneak peeked that, and that was very smart. But then you showed us the inside. It's like, doesn't that like just kind of look like last year? Like a coral, you couldn't put a coral blush? People who buy your makeup Hourglass would like a coral blush, a nude blush, a nude one, or like a brick red. Just, you like anything but like pinks and hues of pink. Anyway, I'm like not interested in these. I don't think you should spend $90 on them. I think if you were interested in trying something from Hourglass, if you were interested in a powder, go to a retailer that sells it, look at them in person, swatch them, figure out which one's for you. Just buy the one shade that you want. Because I like their formula. I like these powders. But I just don't think and I understand that you'd be paying like $45 on one thing, or you could even look at them and they have minis, I think, for most of those shades in their powders. You could buy a mini instead of buying this. Anyway, I think if you are someone who you're not as into makeup as like I am, like if you're not like entrenched in it, you're not posting YouTube videos, you're not in the community on Instagram or anything like that. If you are just someone who buys one face palette every year and this is the face palette you buy, then I bet you get your $90 worth out of it. For me, and I think many of you watching, this is something that we would use not enough to get $90 worth out of. And I don't always view makeup like that, like a price per use or like use value, because sometimes I pay like $65 for blush and I really like that blush, but maybe I don't use it all the time to pan it. But for this, I think is something that like it makes sense for certain people, but it really doesn't make sense for people like me. I also don't believe in face palettes. I want to mix and match my compacts, and I could do that with single pans too, but single pans, they kind of like my brain forgets about them. Anyway, just don't buy this. Buy the one shade that you want to try, even if it's not one of these limited edition shades that are inside of here. I'm sure they have something very close to it in their regular line. Save yourself $45, save yourself $75, save yourself $90. In Europe for holiday, there's going to be an Armani Luminous Silk Glow highlighter. Now they've been kind of expanding on this Luminous Silk line this year with the blushes, and then they released the liquid bronzers. The blushes I felt like had a relatively extensive shade range, and then the bronzers like worse, and then this is just one shade. I don't love gold highlighters on me. Like I could do like a white gold, but like gold highlighter is not gonna look good on me. So like automatically for me, I'm out. But I love this limited edition packaging. I think it's really beautiful, and I have heard good things about their powders. I've not tried them personally. Like people seem to like the blushes, so I feel like this is something that probably will be good. But also, like, if you're into this color when it comes to highlighter, the likelihood of you already having this color when it comes to highlighter is likely. Take stock, go look in your drawers. Like, I don't have anything like that looks like this. But the reason I don't have anything that looks like this is because I wouldn't wear something that looks like this. I'd be curious to see it on the skin, see if it's going to be good on deep skin tones, because it does look too deep for me. I don't need it to be my color. No, I don't know. It's like uninspired, but the sparkly packaging. Ooh. The sparkly packaging really sings to me. Love that packaging. Oh goodness, NARS is back. It's all of that glitters light reflecting cheek palette. It has 6 shades: Silver Screen, Vertigo, City Lights, Wild Side, and Hotspot, and Sabrina. Did I do that math right? Anyway, 6 shades, illuminating light reflecting blush in a limited edition glitter decorated palette. We love glitter on the packaging. Is that what we're doing this year? Is that what's in? This one's $60. So this one's $60. So maybe if you're both into this and the Hourglass, you might want to get this one instead and save yourself $35, $30, or however much the Hourglass one is. NARS. Honey, why? Like, I don't know if these are like gelée. Baked gelée. They might be baked gelée. But like, you know what's weird is that NARS in their normal collection of powders doesn't have a baked gelée formula in their blushes. If you want to do it, just make a permanent line. I do appreciate that Orgasm's not in here. These shades do appear to be different than their normal line. But I have a big problem with face palettes because do you like all 6 of those? All of them. And then, so if you do like all 6 of them and you're going to use all 6 of them, and then you also have other blushes, That's so many blushes. If I went on a shopping spree and I bought 6 individual blushes, I would be so overwhelmed and I would never use 3 of them. And, or, you know, even though I like individually picked them out to buy all at once, something would get lost in the sauce. Even though that these are the same compact, a couple of those shades I'm never going to touch. Not because I think they're ugly, but it's just like they're not my kind of shade. Therefore, 2/3 to 1/2 of this palette is not something that I'm going to even utilize. Not only that, unlike Hourglass, which I'm not saying is a perfect brand when it comes to inclusivity, don't get it twisted. Don't go on the Reddit saying Tom says that Hourglass is a really inclusive brand. I'm not saying that, but it does seem that they made 3 palettes for varying skin tones, maybe a light, medium, and deep, where NARS is like, this is for everybody, and I don't buy that. Not for 1 second. There's no way that someone my skin tone and someone Nima Tang's skin tone can buy same blushes and make them look as good on one of us and not the like all 6 shades are gonna look good on every single skin tone. I don't buy it for 1 second, Gina. I don't. What I wish NARS would do is if they want to do this, I would at least appreciate a light and a deep. I would also more appreciate a light, medium, and a deep. Maybe we do light, if we're gonna do this. I would like to see it that way. And I mean that selfishly. I'm not even speaking for people with a deeper complexion. If I buy a face palette, I want all of the shades to work for me because I'm the one using it. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not working on people with different skin tones. I need everything in that palette to work for me. And with 6 blushes, it's never gonna happen, especially if it's supposed to be a universal blush palette. It's simply not gonna happen. I'm never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. But what I will say, it's kind of pretty. All that to be said, it's actually kind of pretty. I wouldn't use all those shades, but I think it is like objectively a very pretty piece. I like the packaging, and I do think the blushes inside are pretty. Specifically, Silver Screen. And if they release Silver Screen as a solo blush, it's something that I would look at. But I don't want Silver Screen plus 5 other shades for $60. And I'm willing to pay $60 for a blush. We just proved that with the Chanel blush. It's not on my cheek today, although now I'm getting blown out by the lights. But that's the blush you see today. Is a Chanel blush, $65, and I'm going to use the heck out of it because I love that blush. You know, that's the difference. I don't know this brand. I'm just going to mention this Fever Dream Nightmare nonsense that it's a Mad Beauty, which I don't know where that is from. In Warner Brothers, a Gremlins collection. The face mask is the scariest thing I will see this Halloween season. Haus Labs released the Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. A long-wearing, hydrating, clean concealer with 20 plus skincare ingredients. Covers, okay, blurs, okay, and brightens with medium buildable coverage that can visibly depuff under eyes after 2 weeks of use in 31 shades across 6 families and 4 undertones. The range is fine, like the shade range is fine. It looks as expansive as their foundation range, which is cool. I tried the Haus Labs foundation and I liked it, and I did have it for a while. Like, it made it out of the testing drawer into my permanent collection. But the longer I had it, the more I used it, the more I realized like the shade was just like not quite right, but it wasn't quite wrong either. And I have a feeling that would happen with me in these concealers too. And I don't think that it's not a good formula. I liked wearing it and I felt like it wore really well of the foundation. And not in the way that I used to find Haus Labs confounding. I've like accepted that this is what Haus Labs is, right? I really didn't like the Amazon one, and I was very critical whenever this one came about. But like, this one seems to be proving its worth in the makeup industry. So good for this brand. But it still is a brand where I'm like, I don't know what to make of you. Like, what are we doing? Is this a concealer I would try? Like, maybe. But is it a concealer that I feel like I need to, like, run and buy because it's new? No. In fact, because I am a rouge at Sephora, I was offered to buy this 2 weeks early, and I thought I could try that for the channel. And I thought, I don't even want to. First of all, the concealers this year have been quite amazing. Have been quite nice. You know, like the concealers that I've tried this year have been pretty good. Givenchy, the Surratt Dewdrop, both ones that I hold in pretty high regard. I would say that maybe you could tell me that you have like 2 different concealers with 2 different finishes, and like maybe you also mix concealers to get your perfect match. I can understand having like 2 to 3 concealers in your arsenal for different reasons. But like for me, I have now 3 concealers, and that feels like a lot of concealer to me. Like that feels like so much concealer to me. So for me to add a 4th, would this be something that maybe if I was like running out of one and I wanted to try a new formula, could the Haus Labs one be a good one? Maybe. And I've heard good things about it, but like also I heard good things about the foundation before I tried it. And then it was just like, it was good, but it also like wasn't break the internet good, in my opinion. That's how I feel about that. I won't be buying it. Doesn't spark joy for me. Really at all. Rose Inc. is releasing the Softlight Skin Smoothing Hydrating Non-Comedogenic Foundation. A medium buildable coverage foundation that's smoothing, weightless, and buildable, has a natural finish and ideal for acne-prone skin. Blurs, soft focus finish, calms, hydrates, and brightens the skin while visibly minimizing pores, blemishes, redness, and excess oils in 31 shades. $54 each. Here's what I'll say about this. I actually really appreciate that this brand has said this foundation is for these people. This in this verbiage that I just read. This is ideal for acne-prone skin, and I would also imagine that means for people with oily skin. It doesn't really say that it's matte. Like blurs, soft focus, all of these things are like concerns for people who have oily skin. Like a lot of people who are oily skin are acne-prone. That's not to say that there aren't people with dry skin who are acne-prone. It happens. But also people with oily skin tend to have larger pores, like your pores are more pronounced. And this seems to be something that is a solution for something very specific. I feel like all of the foundations so far this year that have been released were like, it's perfect for everyone. And that's just simply not true. Like, obviously, like, I like foundations of all types. I mean, I do prefer a dewy foundation, even with my oily skin. I just am excited to hear some brand be like, this is for these people, instead of just being like, everyone give it a try. You're all gonna love it. I don't know anything about Rose Inc. I have tried, and I can see it from where I'm standing, the skin tint from them. And what's interesting is it was in my declutter box, and I like pulled it back out. I just kind of have it on my desk. I've been using it just like whenever I feel tired, and not like something that I would wear on camera. And I was like, I kind of like it for that, but it's just not something that I use like all of the time. I don't know. I'm still probably going to give it to a friend. My one friend uses the Jones Road What the Foundation, and she's like, I don't want to use old lady makeup. Give me something else. And I was like, I have something, and I'm going to give her that Rose Inc. thing. Also, just to be clear, I don't think that Jones Road is old lady makeup. That's what my friend said. Everyone can use whatever makeup that they want, whatever's gonna work best for you. So if you are 16 years old and the What the Foundation is the best foundation for you, please keep using it. Don't let anyone stop you. Keep doing you. The last couple episodes of Patreon podcasts that me and Kackie did, I'm wearing that in it instead of, because I felt like I looked tired. This is something that I would try. It's not something that I feel like I need to like run out and buy. I would be interested to try it based on it being so different from their other stuff. I know that their concealer is like really high coverage. I've not tried it. Again, I like Rose Inc. I don't know what's happening. Like, I don't know what we're doing. It's not a brand that ever sung to me. Like, the reason I really mostly know about it is because Hannah reviewed it, and I was like, okay. But like, even when I was watching her review, it never like made me go, that's not something I would like to try, which is okay. Like, there are very clearly people who are very big fans of the person who makes this brand. There's a person who makes it. I'm assuming her name is Rosie, but Rose or something. There's Rose in her name, their name. I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who but like, go ahead. But it is $54, which seems, well, I guess that other thing, that's like in the $50 range. Anyway, I was on their mail list for a while. They seem to run sales pretty regularly. This next thing, baby, they're doing something right. Hermes has a couple of shades coming out in their lipstick formula in the most beautiful lipstick packaging that I have ever seen. Rouge Hermes, a shiny lipstick. Dark colored hue leaves a subtle translucent film on the lips, designed by Pierre Hardy. It is made from a lacquered, polished, and brushed metal. And I think these are refillable. So there's Rouge Abyss, which is a burgundy with a touch of cobalt blue, Prune Noir, a plum purple with hints of pink, and then Rouge Bruni, which was a strong brick red. Listen, in my last video, I applied black lipstick, and I was like, ooh, I haven't worn a bitchy lip in so long. I love a bitchy lip. These don't look super saturated when you scroll to the models, so maybe it's more of like a balm with like a sheer balm, which I'm into. I can get down with. $78. And maybe I have tried to buy lipsticks that were this expensive or more expensive before. No, I say tried. It doesn't mean I tried and failed. It's like gone through the process of adding them to cart. So I've added a Guerlain lipstick and a case to my cart, which makes it very expensive. There's the one brand with the really strange name that I can't think of right now. Blah, 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 blah. Dries Van Noten. I've added Dries Van Noten to the, and again, it's like a beautiful packaging, refillable. This is the most beautiful lipstick packaging that I have ever seen. I want the packaging. Now, the lipsticks I would wear, or the lip balms or whatever these are, these shiny lipsticks, I would wear them, but that's not why I'd be buying them. This packaging is so pretty. Now, I've never interacted with Hermes Beauty, and like, I kind of got excited when Hermes was like gonna make products, and then like kind of since they've started, I've just been like, I've lost interest in, but they kind of got me. They got me, gal. I think these are really pretty. Am I gonna buy an Hermes lipstick? No. And I don't think I have to be the one to talk most of you out of a $78 lipstick. Specifically, if this is more of a sheer balm formula, I'm certainly not the one who should have to talk you out of a $78 balm. But what I will say is just, it's very appealing. It's very appealing. These luxury brands this fall, they're like tapping into something. Maybe. I don't know who runs these beauty houses, but it may be the people who are like the marketing departments, because I even think this about the Equinox de Chanel. They were like, millennials love fall. These pumpkin spice girlies, let's get them. And they're doing a really good job. The Equinox de Chanel marketing photos, like, I mean, my heart like pitter patter. And then when I saw them on the white background, I liked them less. Now this blush is from the Equinox de Chanel. It is. So it, you know, I fell for it. But like a $78 lipstick, I'm not gonna buy it. You should. No one needs a $78 lipstick. You can do whatever you want with your money. But I will say is that this Hermes, applause to you. If you keep this kind of stuff up with your packaging and your releases, there will come a day where I could see me buying something. This is, you got the wheels turning in my brain with this release, but I'm not pulling the trigger. But will there probably be a day a year from now where I'm like, I'm ready to buy it. And like these are like limited edition. They're so beautiful. The packaging, the lipsticks are fine. The packaging's so beautiful. Ooh, they got me. Delicious. I don't think anyone's gonna have interest in these but me. I don't even know that I'm actually interested in them. But like Anna Sui dropped face powders. Anna Sui is a really weird makeup brand. And I jokingly tried to make a full face of makeup. Like I went to their website and was like adding things to cart. When you add things to cart and you go to check out, whenever it shows you everything, it looks like something straight out of the 90s, like a 90s website. It's so bizarre. And Anna Sui, I love the aesthetics of Anna Sui makeup. I think it's like cool looking. Like it looks like makeup that'd be like fun to experience. I don't know if any of it's good, but like led me down this rabbit hole. So I appreciate this powder for doing that. I'm not gonna buy this powder. I love the powders I have. I'm not in the market for a powder. We all know, I've told all of you on my Instagram, but I'm going to tell you here on my YouTube channel. If you see the Sisley Blur powder on sale, let me know. I have my eyes peeled for it. I'm looking for it. Just let me know. Because it's on my to-do list right now to grab that. And I just would like to buy it on sale. Because I don't need it. Like I'm not out of a powder, but I do want it before I'm out of the current powder I have. Anyway. Let me know. And it has to be the lighter shade. Last time I saw it on sale, it was only the deeper shade. Not everyone had the lighter shade in stock yet. I need the lighter shade, not the deeper shade. This one kind of caught me off guard that I was like attracted to it. This is new from Fenty. It's the Hot Chocolate Fantasy Gloss Bomb Lip Luminizer. Now, the Hot Chocolate regular shade is like a brown lip gloss with brown shimmer. This one is like kind of duochromy with pink, and I was like, hello. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's me. I'm at the door. What were you saying about a duochrome brown to pink? I would like to know more. I think it's really pretty. It's cool to see them add a new shade. I haven't worn the Gloss Bomb in a really long time, but I panned 2 of the original shade. Before they even had other shades, I panned it twice. That was even as a makeup lover with like a lot of things. I was like always putting that lip gloss on. Maybe I'll try that, but I don't need it. I would like more sparklier lip glosses. I feel like all of my lip glosses aren't sparkly, and the joy that the lip lack from Isamaya has been bringing me makes me feel like I would like to have more sparkly lip glosses in my arsenal. Like I have some, but like, you know, not the complete fantasy. But again, that's not something I need to aspire to. I can live without sparkly lip gloss. But like, if you see this on my channel, like not tomorrow, but like eventually if you see this on my channel, you know that my interest started here. And that I was like, oh yeah, I would like to visit that. REM released the Sweetner foundation. It's in 60 shades. I don't know, nothing about REM has ever spoken to me as a makeup wearer. And I don't think that I know I love foundation, but my interest is not peaked enough to go try out the REM foundation. Did I once reach out to them and be like, I would love to try your stuff just because I'm curious, like, would I like it? But they didn't get back to me. That's okay. I don't hold that grudge against them. It's just like REM's also overall. I say this on my channel. Maybe they've heard me say this before, but like, it's not a brand I like really am like, super interested in overall, and I think that's okay. I think that is it for this edition of Critical Sass. If you enjoyed today's video and you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe. Stick around. In my next video, I'm going to go back through all of the stuff that we talked about today, find stuff in my collection that's going to serve a very similar purpose and make me feel just as good, whether it's on a packaging level or a formula level. And then we will put that on my face in the next video and we'll put it on. And what I encourage you to do is when you're doing your makeup that day, pull out things that will probably be similar to stuff that you're interested in. Put that makeup on with me. We'll be doing our makeup together. It'll be like a whole fun little sleepover moment. Anyway, would love to have you here for that. That's it from me. I hope you enjoyed today's video. All of the stuff that's on my face will be in the description box below. Go look there before you comment. Sometimes I do forget to link things, so if it's not there, then you can ask. But if it is there, then it's there. And I love when you comment. But like, I try to save us all some time by doing that for you. So you could check out the description box for anything that's on my face. The moth dress is from Fashion Brand Company. I like it. It's very good. And that's it from me. Remember to follow your heart. And you'll find me. Bye-bye.